like a rhinestone cowboy.
What if I told you 1975 wasn't just disco lights and heartbreak ballads? Behind the glitter and groove were songs that burned bright, then vanished just as fast. Pop met soul, country brushed against funk, and together they created melodies that still linger, even when the names fade. Today, we're dusting off 10 forgotten gems from 1975, songs that slipped through time but never truly disappeared. Let's begin.
But I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me.
Number 10. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
Kung Fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
It began as a joke, a filler track at the end of a recording session. But in 1975, that joke became one of the most recognizable songs in the world. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas exploded across dance floors and airwaves from Hong Kong to Hollywood. It was pure fun, disco rhythm mixed with martial arts fantasy. Every kick, every shout celebrated the Kung Fu craze sweeping the globe. The song hit #1 in over a dozen countries, selling more than 10 million copies, turning a quiet Jamaican-British singer into a worldwide sensation overnight. But fame faded as quickly as it arrived. The follow-ups never caught on, and by the next year, the craze was gone. Still, that beat lives on, in movies, commercials, and in every memory of one wild, joyful night in 1975.
They were chopping them up, they were chopping them down.
Number 9. Black Superman, Muhammad Ali by Johnny Wakelin.
Sing Muhammad, Muhammad Ali.
1975, the year the world celebrated a man who called himself the greatest. And one English singer decided to turn that legend into song. Johnny Wakelin wasn't a star, just a pub performer from Brighton, until he wrote Black Superman, Muhammad Ali, a funky tribute to Ali's triumph in the ring. He recorded it with local musicians, never imagining it would go anywhere. But after Ali's comeback victory against George Foreman, the song caught fire. It climbed into the UK top 10, crossed over to American radio, and suddenly, Wakelin found himself performing on TV, singing "He floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee." Then came silence, no more hits, no encore. But for one brilliant round, his voice carried the rhythm, pride, and swagger of the world's greatest champion.
A black Superman and calls to the other guy.
Number 8. Midnight Blue by Melissa Manchester.
One more time for all the old time.
While disco and rock ruled the airwaves, Midnight Blue offered something quieter. A moment of calm in the storm. Melissa Manchester, once a backup singer for Bette Midler, wrote the song alone in her small New York apartment, late at night, surrounded by city lights and uncertainty. It was about resilience and hope, the quiet kind that helps you keep going when everything else feels lost. The song climbed into the top 10, playing on late-night radio across America. Her tender voice carried honesty, warmth, and the feeling of starting over. For many listeners, Midnight Blue made loneliness feel a little less lonely. It earned Melissa a Grammy nomination, though she would never quite capture that same fragile magic again.
I think we can make it. Oh,
Number 7. Lady by Styx. Sometimes a song just needs time to find its moment. Lady was recorded back in 1973, but it didn't hit big until 1975, when radio finally caught on. Then suddenly, Styx were everywhere. Written by Dennis DeYoung as a love letter to his wife, Lady blended soft rock emotion with theatrical power. It began gently, then rose into a storm of passion and gratitude that few rock ballads could match. By early 1975, it had reached the US top 10, turning Styx from Chicago locals into national stars. But fame brought growing pains, lineup changes, label disputes, and the pressure to repeat perfection. Still, Lady remained their turning point. The moment a hard rock band discovered how to be tender and love itself became an anthem. Number 6. Dance With Me by Orleans.
I can take you where you want to go.
Not every hit from 1975 came from heartbreak or flash. Some came from pure simplicity. Dance With Me by Orleans felt like sunlight through a car window. Easy, warm, and impossibly catchy. The band formed in Woodstock, New York, a town known more for mud and rebellion than polished radio hits. But Dance With Me changed that. Written by John Hall and his wife Johanna, it mixed folk sweetness with soft rock smoothness. The melody was effortless, and the harmonies felt like old friends singing together at sunset. Released in the summer of 1975, it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, a soundtrack to road trips, picnics, and quiet moments of falling in love. Orleans never climbed that high again, but this song still glows, forever frozen in the golden light of the mid-70s.
Dance with me. I want to be your partner.
Number 5. He Don't Love You Like I Love You by Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Fade away. I know you're leaving.
I know you're leaving.
By 1975, Tony Orlando and Dawn were already household names, smiling faces, cheerful tunes, and family-friendly TV charm. But this song was different. It wasn't bubblegum. It was heartbreak, dressed in silk. He Don't Love You Like I Love You told the story of watching someone you love walk away. Tony's voice trembled with pain, carried by gospel-style harmonies that turned sorrow into something beautiful. The song climbed straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the year's biggest hits. Yet, it was also their last major success. As disco took over, their soft soul sound faded from the charts. Still, this song remains a bittersweet reminder that even a band built on smiles could deliver a heartbreak you never forget.
And if he did, he wouldn't break your...
Number 4. Why Can't We Be Friends by War.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
In 1975, when the world still felt divided, War decided to ask one simple, unforgettable question: why can't we be friends? The song was funky, playful, and instantly universal. The band, already known for Low Rider, wanted to make something anyone could sing. And they did. The chorus was pure joy, easy to remember, impossible not to join in. But beneath the groove was a message, one of unity, equality, and the power of connection. The song reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became an anthem that transcended boundaries. You could hear it at ball games, protests, even in classrooms. Anywhere, people needed a reason to smile together. War never repeated that success, but they didn't need to. They'd already said everything, with a smile and a song that still feels just as right today.
My money to the welfare line.
Number 3. Please Mr. Postman by the Carpenters.
Deliver the letter, the sooner the better.
In a year filled with experimentation, the Carpenters reminded the world what perfect pop truly sounded like. Their 1975 cover of Please Mr. Postman, first a Motown hit by the Marvelettes, became one of their biggest global successes. Karen Carpenter's voice turned a teenage plea into something timeless. Every note carried innocence and longing, a purity that made even heartache feel gentle. Richard's lush production wrapped it in soft drums, shimmering keys, and the signature Carpenter sound, smooth, precise, and deeply human. The single soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped charts around the world. It was the duo's final major hit before the disco wave arrived, closing a golden chapter in pop music. For a moment, it felt like everything about love and waiting could fit into one perfect melody. A letter, a heartbeat, and the sound of Karen's voice echoing through time.
I've been standing here waiting, Mr. Postman.
Number 2, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet by Bachman Turner Overdrive.
It's something, it's a lover you never forget, baby.
Some songs arrive by accident, loud, confident, and unforgettable. You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet wasn't even meant to be released. It started as a joke, a warm-up track Randy Bachman recorded to tease his brother who had a stutter. But when DJs heard it, they couldn't stop playing it. The stammer, the guitar riff, the wild energy, everything about it screamed hit record. By late 1975, it rocketed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making Bachman Turner Overdrive one of the biggest names in North American rock. The song perfectly captured the mid-70s spirit, bold, free, and just a little rough around the edges. But the success didn't last. Later singles never matched its fire, and by the end of the decade, BTO had faded into FM radio nostalgia. Still, that opening riff remains one of rock's great calls to action, a promise shouted through time. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Ain't seen nothing yet. Baby, you just ain't seen nothing.
Number 1, Rhinestone Cowboy by Glen Campbell.
But I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me.
If one song defined 1975, it was Rhinestone Cowboy, a country ballad wrapped in pop shine, sung by a man who knew what it meant to chase a dream too long. Glen Campbell had spent years in the business, as a session guitarist, a TV host, and a singer searching for one more moment in the spotlight. Then came this song, written by Larry Weiss, about a performer who keeps believing even when the applause fades. Campbell heard it and said, "That's my life." Released in the summer of 1975, it became a phenomenon, hitting #1 on both the pop and country charts. Every lyric felt personal, the struggle, the hope, the need to keep going even when no one's watching. For millions, Rhinestone Cowboy wasn't just a song, it was the story of the American dream itself, shiny on the surface but built on heart and grit underneath. It made Glen Campbell a household name again, and its echo still rides through time like a cowboy's call across the desert.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
And there you have it, 10 forgotten pop and soul treasures from 1975. Songs that captured love, hope, heartbreak, and joy before fading into memory. Each one a fleeting spark from a golden year when every radio hit carried a story worth remembering. So now it's your turn. Which of these songs brought back memories for you? Was it a dance floor, a drive-in, or maybe that one summer night you still remember every lyric from? Share your favorite moment in the comments. We read them all. And if you love rediscovering lost gems from the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell because the next forgotten year is just around the corner.